Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach, and today I'm talking about what does a healthy relationship look like. So people who have a healthy relationship will have these personal qualities about them. So the relationship will have this. So one of those things is they deal with problems while they are small. So it's much easier to deal with an issue, to deal with a disagreement or a problem while it's small, because if you let things fester and you don't kind of speak your truth and you don't say what's on your mind and you just let things slide, these issues tend to get bigger and bigger over time, right? And it's harder, it's even more difficult then to to deal with them. Because if it's a problem, let's say you get agitated each time you see the dishes in the sink that haven't been washed up, right, or put in the dishwasher, whatever it may be, right, and they don't do that consistently, but you don't say anything about it. So what begins with like an annoyance can later then turn into something bigger, like a grudge, right? And you don't want to feel that way about your partner, because if you have a grudge against them, if you hate them for some reason, it's going to cause problems. So the moment they start doing something that you find annoying, that you feel like they should be doing, that could, cause to you resenting them sometime in the future, you need to tackle those things while they're small, and have that small disagreement to begin with, because otherwise it's just going to get to a point where it's going to get much, much bigger, and it's going to be a massive argument. And it may be the case that because it's been going on for so long, you have no idea why you're mad at them, why you resent them so much, and it's all because of these little things that you just didn't deal with while they were small. So, for example, with the washing of the dishes, when you start noticing that they're not doing something that you want them to do, then you have to bring it up straight away. You have to start dealing with it straight away. And it may be annoying. It may be an argument that lasts like an hour, or it could be shorter than that. It could be like 30 minutes, depending on what it is. But you have to get to it. You have to start. It's uncomfortable because most people do like to avoid conflict. Most people don't want to talk about these things because it is, you are, putting yourself out there basically, and you are putting basically, the potential for an argument on the table. And most people like to avoid confrontation. I know I certainly do, So it's not easy, but it's something that it's something necessary that you must do if you want to have a healthy relationship, right? So tackle problems while they are small, right? Another thing that they do is they have interests outside of the relationship. So they have friendships outside of the relationship. They have things that they like to do outside of the relationship. They don't just do everything together. They have other things. They have careers. They're not always in each other's faces, spending 24 hours with each other. They have other things that they like to do together, right? So that's another thing as well that healthy couples have. They have time outside of the relationship. It's not all about the relationship. Another thing that they do is they continuously court each other, and it never stops. So basically, what you did in the beginning to get your girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife, you have to keep on doing that throughout your lifetime. People that have healthy relationships, they continue to date each other. Of course, life happens and things kind of sometimes can get in the way, like new careers or having kids. You have a lot less time on your hands, but they still find the time to at least go out with each other a couple of times a month, to have a date, do the things that they used to do when they were young and in love, and it was the beginning of the relationship and everything was fresh. They continue to do that. And if you continue to do that, then the magic will stay alive, the intercourse will still be there, because you're still treating each other like you did at the beginning. And how you got your partner is essentially how you keep your partner. And a lot of people let these sort of things slide when they get comfortable, when they get into a long-term relationship. You've been together for a couple of years. It's so easy to slip into habits where you just sort of like, it kind of gets repetitive. It's kind of like Groundhog Day. You both come in from work, you watch TV, you have something to eat, you may have intercourse, and then you go to bed, and then it just sort of repeats over and over and over and over and over again. But it gets boring, and then people get start taking their partner for granted basically, and they get bored. You'll get bored of that routine. They'll get bored of that routine. It's probably true that one of the people will get bored before the other. And that's when problems start to arise. That's when the intercourse starts to slow down, and you start wondering, oh my god, what's going on? Why do they stop? Do they not love me anymore? Things like that. But it's all because there's like a routine in place that's boring, predictable, and it's not as fun anymore. So that's where you got to keep on spicing things up by continuing to date each other and things like that. So the next thing is that keep relationships healthy is the roles are in place and everyone sticks to their end of the bargain. So basically, when you get into a relationship with someone and you start living with someone, especially, you have to like come up with a plan of who does stuff, who does what, who takes out the rubbish, who cleans out the garage, who takes the cars to go and get them cleaned, who cleans the house, or who does what cleaning in the house. So who cleans the bathroom, who cleans the kitchen, who cleans the floors, who cooks, or who cooks most of the time, who cooks when. It might be the case that you have some sort of schedule that you cook every Wednesday and on the weekends, and your partner cooks the other days, something like that. And those roles are stuck to, and you always keep your end of the bargain, they always keep their end of the bargain. So if you're someone that you let's say you hoover the floors, right, and your partner, let's say, dusts the worktops or whatever it may be, then you stick to those roles. Don't ever let up, right? Because otherwise your partner won't trust you. If you say you're going to do something, you do it. You got to be stable. You got to be steady, right? That's a really attractive quality, actually, to have someone who is not just steady in like life situations, like work, career, that kind of thing, but what's more important is how emotionally steady they are, how emotionally peaceful are they, and having that stability. Because you can depend on someone who's stable and isn't going to fly off the handles any minute, right? So try and develop sort of like a calmer approach to things, because that's really attractive, especially in relationships when sometimes things happen. Recently for me, I've had a lot of things happen to me that have been really traumatic and dramatic, and it's really when and because I'm in a relationship, when I'm in a marriage, if one of us goes off the handle because of the stuff that's been happening to us, then the other one needs to be more steady and stable to be able to counterbalance that emotion that's going on. Okay, so that's something else that you will need to consider as well. Try to develop a more stable emotional sort of internal place. And if you need therapy for that, then by all means go ahead and try to figure out what's going on with you. Try and figure out your emotions, and get through that so you can become a more stable emotional person, because your partner wants someone like that. So your partner wants someone that they can rely on. I think this is probably more true in, for men, to be a lot more emotionally stable, because women in general just are a little bit more neurotic, a little bit more emotional. So they want someone who is less emotional than they are, a lot more stable, a lot more calm. Kind of like the sea. They want someone who's calm, like the steady waves of the sea, instead of like a thunderstorm, right? They want someone who is steady like that. So those are my thoughts on what does a healthy relationship look like. Of course, another big one is communication, being able to communicate properly with each other, understanding that each other may communicate in different ways, and being understanding to how each other communicates and things like that. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. And if you would like coaching with me, and I would like to talk to you again very soon. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much, and goodbye.